The seasonal weapons in Season of the Witch are some of the best looking and the best feeling guns in the game. We've got a hand cannon, a rocket launcher, fusion rifle, scout rifle, sniper rifle, and a very deadly machine gun. Well, today I'm going to go through all of the weapons, all the stats, the perks, and the god rolls, plus also how to get them in Destiny 2. Okay, without further delay, let's dive right into how to get these weapons. So to get these weapons, you have to run the seasonal activities in Season of the Witch called Savathun's Spire or Altars of Summoning, and you can find those activities in the Helm. Complete those activities and you get a random drop at the end of the activity. You can also focus your engrams at the Helm at the Ritual table, and you can also craft all the weapons by getting 5 red borders of each weapon and extracting the Deep Sight. Do this, you'll get the pattern, then you can go to the Enclave on Savathun's Throne World and craft all of the Season of the Witch weapons. All these weapons also have an origin trait, and that is called Head Rush. This is where standing up after crouching for a short time grants the weapon a brief period of improved handling and also reload speed too. Without further delay, let's dive right into these weapons. Well, next up, let's have a close look at the weapon. So the Aridmite is a legendary energy fusion rifle with a high impact frame, meaning it's slow firing and it's got high damage, and the weapon is more accurate when you're stationary and you're aiming down the sights, and also moving slowly too. Looking at the stats, we've got 95 for impact, 51 for range, 22 for stability, 26 for handling, 22 for reload speed, 8 for airborne effectiveness. It's got a charge time of 960 with 5 in the magazine. Okay, next up, let's have a look at the Aridmite God Roll guide. So for PVE, Arrowhead Break, Enhanced Battery, Envious Assassin, and Reservoir Burst to be really good. So with Arrowhead Break, greatly controls the recoil and increases the handling speed. Enhanced Battery increases magazine size. Then you got Envious Assassin, so defeating targets with other weapons before drawing this one transfers ammo to the magazine from reserves, and this effect can overflow the magazine based on the number of targets defeated. Finally, Reservoir Burst, so when the battery is full, your next burst deals additional damage and causes enemies to explode on death. For PvP, on the other hand, Extended Barrel, Projection Fuse, Offhand Strike, and Controlled Burst would be very, very good. So Extended Barrel increases range, decreases handling speed, and moderately controls the recoil. Projection Fuse, well, that increases range. Offhand Strike, that is where final blows grant additional weapon range, stability, and accuracy when firing from the hip for a short duration. Then you got Controlled Burst, so landing every shot in a burst grants the weapon increased damage and reduced charge time for a short duration. Next up, let's take a closer look at Briar's Love. So it's a legendary energy scout rifle with a precision frame, meaning the weapon's recoil pattern is much more predictably vertical. Looking at the stats, we've got 62 for impact, 48 for range, 40 for stability, 47 for handling, 40 for reload speed, 15 for airborne effectiveness. It's a 180 rounds per minute scout rifle with 16 in the magazine. Well, next up, let's have a look at the God Roll guide for this scout rifle. So for PvE, Arrowhead Break, Tactical Mag, Shoot to Loot, and Explosive Payload would be very, very good. Arrowhead Break greatly controls the recoil and increases the handling speed. Tactical Mag slightly increases stability, increases reload speed, and slightly increases magazine size. Then you've got Shoot to Loot, so shooting an orb of power picks it up, and shooting an ammo brick picks it up and automatically reloads all your equipped weapons from reserves. Then you got Explosive Payload, so projectiles create an area of effect detonation on impact. For PvP, on the other hand, Arrowhead Break, Steady Rounds, Keep Away, and Explosive Payload would be very, very good. So with Arrowhead Break, greatly controls the recoil and increases the handling speed. Steady Rounds, that greatly increases stability, slightly decreases range, and increases airborne effectiveness. Then you got Keep Away, so increases reload, range, and accuracy when no targets are in close proximity. And then you got Explosive Payload, so projectiles create an area of effect detonation on impact. Next up, let's have a closer look at this sniper rifle. So it's got an adaptive frame, meaning it's got a wear-and a grip, it's reliable, and it's sturdy. Looking at the stats, we've got 70 for impact, 48 for range, 44 for stability, 42 for handling, 42 for reload speed, 4 for airborne effectiveness, and it's a 90 rounds per minute sniper with 4 in the magazine. Next up, let's have a look at the Locus Locutus God Roll guide. So for PvE, Arrowhead Break, Accurized Rounds, Overflow, and Box Breathing would be good. Arrowhead Break greatly controls the recoil and increases the handling speed. Accurized Rounds increases range. Overflow is where picking up special or heavy ammo automatically loads the weapon beyond normal capacity, And box breathing, aiming with the weapon for a short period without firing, grants bonus range and precision damage that resets after firing or exiting zoom. For PvP, on the other hand, corkscrew rifling, tactical mag, keep away, and opening shot would be your best bet. Corkscrew rifling slightly increases range and stability, and also increases handling speed as well. Tactical mag, increased stability, increases reload speed, and slightly increases magazine size. Keep away increases reload range and accuracy when no targets are in close proximity, and then opening shot, improve accuracy and range on the opening shot of the attack. Well, next up, let's have a closer look at the weapons. So the Electric Principle is a legendary power machine gun with a rapid fire frame, meaning it's got deep ammo reserves and slightly faster reload when the magazine is empty. Looking at the stats, you've got 25 for impact, 26 for range, 34 for stability, 50 for handling, 64 for reload speed, 19 for airborne effectiveness, and it's a 900 rounds per minute machine gun with 75 in the magazine. Next up, let's have a look at the Electric Principle Godroll Guide. So for PvE, Arrowhead Break, Extended Mag, Ensemble, and Target Lock would be good. Arrowhead Break greatly controls the recoil and increases the handling speed. Extended Mag greatly increases the magazine size and greatly decreases reload speed and increases airborne effectiveness. Ensemble improves the handling and reload speed when the allies are near. Then you've got Target Lock, so damage increases the longer the weapon remains on a target. For PvP, on the other hand, Hammerforged Rifling, Ricochet Rounds, Moving Target, and Tap the Trigger would be very, very good. Hammerforged Rifling increases range, Ricochet Rounds increase stability and slightly increases range. Moving Target is where increased movement speed and target acquisition when moving while aiming down sights. Then you've got Tap the Trigger, so grants a short period of increased stability and accuracy on the initial trigger pull. Okay, next up, let's have a closer look at the Semio-Station. So this one is a legendary power rocket launcher with a high impact frame, meaning it's slow firing and has high damage. And the weapon is more accurate when stationary, you're moving slowly, and you aim down the sights. Looking at the stats, we've got a blast radius of 90, 44 for velocity, 56 for stability, 69 for handling, nice, 38 for reload speed, 6 for airborne effectiveness. It's a 15 rounds per minute rocket launcher with 1 in the magazine. Okay, next up, let's have a look at the Semio-Station Godroll Guide. So for PvE, first of all, quick launch, impact casing, field prep, and explosive light would be good. So quick launch greatly increases the handling speed and increases the projectile speed too. Impact casing increases stability. Field prep increases ammo reserves. You've got faster reload, stow, and ready when you're crouching. And then you've got explosive light. So picking up an orb of power increases the next projectile's blast radius and also the damage too. So field prep and explosive light is a tried and tested combination for boss DPS with rocket launchers. Now, this is nothing new in PvE, but it's good to have a strand option out there for those strand builds. Field prep is good for increasing reserves and reload speed, and then you've got that massive damage boost with explosive light. It's up there with bait and switch as the best rocket perk in the game. Well, next up for PvP, quick launch, high velocity rounds, impulse amplifier, and danger zone would be very, very good. So a quick launch greatly increase the handling speed and increase the projectile speed too. High velocity rounds increase the projectile speed, always good in PvP, and increases the reload speed. Then you've got impulse amplifier, so massively increases the projectile velocity and also increases the reload speed too. Finally, you've got danger zone, so the blast radius of the weapon increases when surrounded by combatants, and while active the weapon deals significantly less damage to the wielder. Well, impulse amplifier is great in PvP, and danger zone gives you that larger blast radius which can catch out teams if they bunch together in PvP. So with rockets in PvP, you want to up the velocity as much as possible, and that is going to get your rocket onto your enemies as fast as you possibly can. Well, next up, let's have a closer look at the weapon. So Kept Confidence is a legendary kinetic hand cannon with an adaptive frame, meaning it's got a well-rounded grip, it's reliable and it's sturdy, and it also deals strand damage. Looking at the stats, we've got 84 for impact, 46 for range, 56 for stability, 45 for handling, 40 for reload speed, 19 for airborne effectiveness. It's a 140 rounds per minute hand cannon with 10 in the magazine. Well, next up, let's have a look at the Kept Confidence Godroll Guide. So for PvE, polygonal rifling, extended magazine, loose change, and collective action would be very good indeed. Polygonal rifling increased stability, and extended magazine greatly increases magazine size. And it also decreases reload speed and increases airborne effectiveness. Loose change is where applying an elemental debuff to a target increases the weapon's reload speed for a short duration. Then you've got collective action, so collecting an elemental pickup or throwing a strand tangle grants a stacking period of increased damage. Elemental pickups include fire sprites, void breaches, stasis shards, ionic traces, and also strand tangles. For PvP, on the other hand, polygonal rifling, accurized rounds, killing wind, and Eye of the Storm would be very, very good. Polygonal rifling increases stability, and accurized rounds, that increases range. Killing wind is where final blows grant increased mobility, weapon range and handling for a short duration, and then you've got Eye of the Storm. The weapon becomes more accurate and boosts your handling as your health gets lower. Well, let me know in the comments what you think about the seasonal weapons in Season of the Witch. And that is it for this guide for how to get the witch weapons in Destiny 2. And as always, thank you so much for watching or for listening. Well, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you real soon.